I find myself 9 a.m. in my friend's doorstep with a tiny orange basket in a death grip filled with random clothes anxiously snatched from the floor. I'm being responsible, I say, while I wait in the snow. And by 9 p.m., I leave with a basket of folded laundry that I only then realized were all of his leftover boxers, his unmatched socks left behind, cleverly disguised by a towel. At home, I place the forgotten items back in their drawer. Been wearing the last of my clean clothes since, living in utter disarray until he comes back from tour. We break the lease, and I have a reason to move on. I don't remember when I started aspiring to be someone to come back to. These things take over softly, fold themselves into piles of your clothes. Is the price of a lasting love allowing someone to make a home of the body you leave behind? A man I loved, black as the witching hour, squeezed up into my chest, made a twin bed of the fleshy mass beating. Half my skin had become gentle bite marks and valleys carved by his wandering tongue. I watched myself grow into his lighthouse, catfish this man into thinking I was a housewife or something to keep it all. It gets crowded in here, making room for someone else's dreams, and soon you convince yourself those are your dreams too, and though you don't pray in Bible verses anymore, you eat the yolk the two of you have become for breakfast. You feed him and leave your body like carved bread until you lose 30 pounds by accident and can still only see your mother in the mirror, until you have to say goodbye just to find where all your bones went. I watched my whole body calcify in a necessary love, just so the last of the dying girl in me could at least have a nice headstone. It was never his fault he loved me as the blood drained out. When faced with parting while still in love, there are two options. One is to see the limb has been severed, but to still sew it back and imagine the black rotting appendage will still have use. Ignore the smell of death, call it happy and healing. The second is to welcome the surgical blade warmly with outstretched arms. Burn the dying crops and chaff before the reaper comes. Let death find you a soft pile of ash. I was afraid to put my old bodies in their proper graves for fear no one would leave flowers for them, like who would love my sicknesses like I do. Finally, I have found the person I did not have words for. It turns out she lived in my open, screaming mouth this whole time, waiting for surrender. And now I'm finding kinder ways to describe myself. Metaphors for being whole that don't just mean put back together, but look at what the earth has done. Even in the form of shards, I am still her ancient clay. Or maybe laundry and gardening are easier than writing poems over and over, featuring my hacked up body, imagery of all the limbs I have lost. I think, damn, even with these hollowed out sockets, I can still reach for the light. What I mean is, I'm not sorry I fell in love. I'm not sorry I have to get better now. Grow a whole new disentangled form, wash myself on the back of a good book, dance like Nina and Aretha on studio nights with no husbands. My birthright is the whole pot of stew, the medicine I make for myself, a new apartment, a line to hang my clothes on. I'll watch as they drip dry, inhale the scent, and meditate on how glorious it is to smell like myself again.